Hey everybody, it's Gypsy. Sorry, I was just eating peanuts. um, so, excuse me, I'm so rude. There are, I would say, most careers or jobs, whatever you want to call them, in this world have a purpose and are necessary. There are some that are more necessary than others. Now, if you follow me on Twitter, you may have noticed that I talk a lot about supporting our local farmers and ranchers. They are under attack, and powers that be are trying to get rid of them. Okay? But they are not the only people who are under attack. And yes, this is something that is personal to me. My son and daughter in law are truckers, and truckers are under attack. And what we have to realize, well, truckers are our supply chain. They literally are. Everything you get, whether you go to the store or you order it, it's the truckers. Here's a mouse. We rely on them more than we realize, okay? Now, I had a very interesting conversation with my son today. I'm sorry, I have to give kudos to my daughter-in-law. I am so proud of her. She comes off as being a very quiet and shy young woman from Finland. She's just very laid back. I always warned my son that when I was her age, I was very shy and quiet. But now I'm a force to be reckoned with, and I keep telling him to prepare himself, because as she gets older, you're going to end up living with your mother. Not really me, literally. But I see in my daughter-in-law, she is more, she has more gumption than I did at her age, so it's coming quicker than it did with me. But anyways, there are certain laws for truckers that, although I don't really believe in laws and regulations, and yeah, you should be making your own decision and use common sense, I get a little partial here. Oh my God, that's awful. Because as a mother, I worry. Okay? So this one law is a trucker drives a minimum of 8 hours, and then it has to be, rest for, 10, which makes sense because, you have to get, 7, 8 hours of sleep, shower, eat, etc. Now, this is a law, okay? And I don't know how all trucking companies do it, but the one that my son and daughter-in-law work for, it's all computerized. So they keep track of how long each team member has been driving, or each individual trucker has been driving, and how long they rest, etc. So I'm relieved because, I don't want them driving, falling asleep at the wheel, or having another trucker drive, have asleep at the wheel. Okay. That being said, one of the major hubs for truckers to pick up and drop off loads is Laredo. And what my son explained to me is that if your shift starts in Laredo and you're heading west, you only have one option of where to stop. The problem is this one option, because after that, I forgot. The next one isn't for at least a couple hours away, and you're going to go over your time, and, it's breaking the law. You could get in trouble with your company, etc. So I guess my son was in the sleeper sleeping. My daughter-in-law is driving. And they, stopped at this town, 8 hours west of Laredo. She was only stopping for 30 minutes. I'm not sure what the reason for that was. It wasn't a 10-hour thing. There were about 30 trucks parked there to rest. Well, I guess technically they're not supposed to stop there. So this police officer comes and tickets $200 every single trucker there. My son is sleeping in the back. He said, all of a sudden, my dog Sirius is barking up a storm. He goes, what the hell is going on? He looks out the window. There is this police officer surrounded by all the truckers, and my daughter-in-law is giving him what for. I couldn't believe it. I'm so proud of her. And so were the other truckers. And it's like, well, which law do we keep and which law do we break? Do we keep the 8-hour shift law and then stop for a break here? They said, this town is the only place, and you don't have anywhere near enough parking for truckers. And he's, what? I'm just doing my job. Well, so are the truckers. And they legally, especially if they're coming for later, they have to stop. Okay? They provide our goods and services to us. Our food, retail things you buy in the store, everything. They do. And it is a law that they have to stop and rest. I am just finding this appalling. We have really, our truckers, they're under such attack. I like the 8-hour thing. Okay. That's plenty of time to drive. You stop, you rest. Now, I'm not into regulations and laws. I really not. I think they're stupid, and please, people, just start having common sense, okay? Then you won't have the Karens going around trying to pass laws and regulations. But since it is a law, my son and daughter-in-law and every other trucker have to obey that law. But if there are no provisions for truckers to obey those laws without breaking another law, how are they supposed to keep that law, that regulation? It's frustrating and it's sad. And I told my son, I said, I really believe this little town in Texas knows they are the only game around, the only place for these truckers to stop and rest when their shift is over. And they know they are 8 hours outside of Laredo. So, let's make some money off of this. We won't provide enough legal parking space for the semis, the trucks, and this way we'll ticket them because they have to stop. They don't have a choice. Okay, this is ridiculous. We have to really start appreciating our truckers more, as well as our farmers and our ranchers. America has so many, and not just America, but the individual states and towns have so many regulations, laws, rules that you can't do anything right here. I believe probably now every single citizen, whether they know it or not, whether they've been caught or not, is inadvertently a criminal because there are way too many. So something's got to give. If there's not enough truck parking spaces provided, then you're going to have to get rid of the other law, or vice versa, something. Or how about having a cop who has a heart? Okay, now I know that cop was seeing dollar signs. Oh, look at all these truckers. $200 a pop, at least 30 truckers. And also, the day's work that all of those truckers put in, they just lost because of that ticket. And it's like my son said, the rules and stipulations for trucks are different than like cars and pickup trucks. They are much more strict. Okay, now my son and daughter, I've seen them do this many times when they get back on the road. They have to walk around, they do a pre-check before they get back on the road. Now, like my son pointed out, and this makes sense, I forgot what the running lights, I forgot what my son called them. They go around the truck. He says, I could do a pre-check before getting on the road. And I mean, I've seen both of them. They both do it. They look under the truck. They're checking this. They're checking that. Everything. And all my lights could be on. He said, but somewhere along the line is I'm on the road going to my next destination. One of those lights could go out. And I get pulled over. And I'll get ticketed for it. And I didn't even know it went out in between the time I did my pre-check, etc. So, I mean, he says there's a shortage of truckers because the rules and regulations, that's one of the reasons, are just, they're too much. They're way too much. And I believe in safety and stuff like that, but this world has become overkill. With Big Brother watching every little thing we do. And it's difficult. And yes, I know. I have a feeling my son, he would drive longer if he could. Okay, and as his mother, it's hard as a mother not, and I'm being honest here, to appreciate that law, that he has to take his 10 hours after 8, after driving 8 hours. So, it's like, it's difficult. It'd be nice if I could, just trust everybody. Oh, you're tired? Then pull over, okay? Find a place to rest. But we have to provide places. There are not enough truck stops. There are not enough truck stops with enough parking spaces for the truckers. And this bothers me, okay? We have to start having more appreciation for truckers, farmers, ranchers, all these people who provide very important services for us, okay? So when you have the governments coming in and effing with these people, well, they're going to say, okay, no more, I'm not doing it. So now we have shortages of truckers. It's ridiculous, okay? Something's got to change. Something's got to give, all right? It sounded like there really wasn't a good reason for them not to be able to park there. I think if there's an overflow, well, you need to provide, especially when you know you're the only place they can stop. I don't know the name of the town, but you should be ashamed of yourself, whatever small town you are in Texas. You know what? Because you wouldn't be able to go to the store and buy your stuff or order anything online and receive it if it wasn't for those people there. So many things they provide. Okay, so you keep ticketing. Maybe the trucker should just do, okay, well, anything that will be provided to that area, we're just not going to deliver there. How about that? How about they don't send you your goods for, how about they don't send you your Lay's potato chips or your beer or whatever? How about that? How about they boycott your area and just don't, you have to drive miles and miles and miles just to get your basic needs because you can't provide enough space for the truckers, and then when you have overflow, you take away a day's work from them. I hate governments. I'm sorry. I really do. Anyways, I'm going to leave you with that. Maternal instinct on overdrive here. I'm so proud of my daughter-in-law. Yes. She's so good. Blessed be and make it a joke.